Our next presenter is Rick Raddatz, who will be talking about how logic is a tool that we can use to get moving in the right direction. That is, by coming together on the logic of economics, and how this approach can help us to solve the problems, all of our problems in time. And he's not exaggerating by insisting we can, in fact, solve all of our problems. I've read his book and I've listened to his presentations, and he's got a very good, very sensible plan. Rick is the author of The Path to Political Harmony, Our Political Future is Better Than You Think. And he's a political philosopher who sprung from his work in philosophy and computer science at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He spent 12 years at Microsoft in product design, development, and marketing. He is also the founder and CEO of Meetin.com, which is lauded as a super easy to use replacement for Zoom, which is timely and a welcome development. And I will give a cheap, shameless plug here. I've used it, and it is a great alternative to Zoom. His book explores the universal laws that govern society, the laws of economics, and makes the case that coming together on these universal laws is the key to healing our political divide. The ideas he shares with us today are as timely and arguably more valuable. Forgive me. They're as timely and arguably more vital than a replacement for Zoom. Please welcome Rick, and I know you will appreciate this session in particular.
Thank you, Russ. I really appreciate it. So I'm the founder of what's called the Penta Project, penta.org, and I'll explain the name in just a moment. But the idea is to come together on those things we can come together on, the things we need to come together on, the things that never change, the things that logic proves, the universal laws that ultimately govern society. And I'll make that case in this quick presentation. The first step in the argument, I think, is to divide all the issues we fight about into two different categories. And the reason I do this is that we need to treat these two different categories very differently. And actually, Mayor Harmon just mentioned the two categories indirectly, and so I'll touch on that too. The first category are things we can know for sure. I mean, there are things we can know for sure, like 2 + 2 = 4. There's no doubt. Okay, luckily we're not divided on that. But that's category one, things we can know for sure, things we can prove with logic. Let's come together on these things. Category two is everything else, things we can't know for sure. Now, here's why these two categories are so important. The vast majority of issues that we fight about are category two issues, things we can't prove. How high should the wall be on our southern border, if we have a wall at all? That's something we can't possibly know for sure. We have to have an opinion about it, and other people will have different opinions, and we duke it out. So here's the big aha here. It's healthy to have a political divide on category two things, because we can't know the answer. We need a variety of opinions, and then we need to work it out. But the opposite is the case for category one. When Mayor Harmon mentioned we can't have unity of opinion, she was talking about category two things, which is almost everything. But she also mentioned a hope for a unity of purpose. Well, it turns out purpose is something we can prove in category one with the logic of economics applied to all aspects of society. And so this is actually very consistent with what Mayor Harmon intuitively described. But now we're going to use logic to prove it. So now you might think that at least we aren't divided on things like 2 + 2 = 4. But actually, we are divided on things like 2 + 2 = 4. Because as I'll show you in a moment, the fundamental laws of economics can be proven by logic. We can come to know them with as much confidence as we know that 2 + 2 = 4. And yet, we are very divided on those laws. We're very divided on how to govern the private economy. So that's where we can see a path forward. That's why my book is called The Path to Political Harmony. This is a path forward. If we can come together on the things that we can prove, that's a big step. And we can add one more piece to the puzzle, and this is what we've discovered that's new. The fundamental laws of economics do more than govern the private economy. It turns out, as you'll see, they actually govern all aspects of society. And what that means is the things that we can come together on in category 1 in time can help us with our debate on category 2 things. And so that's the argument why eventually we can solve everything. If we can economize all human action, if we can put all human action to ever better use, if we can constantly improve, if we can progress in the right direction on category 1, we can have a better discussion, a more civil discussion on everything in category 2. It'll take time, but that's the vision that we're laying out here. Okay, so let's dive into the logic behind economics. We're not going to do economics. That's very complex and all based on theory. We're going to look at the logic behind economics. And I'll just go through this very quickly. It begins with the idea that humans take action. We do things. Now, that action could be harmful, but if we minimize the harm, we get freedom from harm. And then within the limits of sustainability, so we don't harm the future, then we can negotiate. Now, this negotiation is where it becomes economic, because everybody in the negotiation will be doing their own economic calculation. You know, what they value and why, what they're willing to trade for what and why. And this negotiation is where we start to improve the world, because everyone who's negotiating is trying to improve the world, at least for themselves, maybe for others, but that's why they're negotiating, because they want something. So this negotiation, in this context, becomes an attempt at improving the world, thanks to their incentives, but they're not allowed to harm the world, thanks to our imposed incentives. The combination means this negotiation is an attempt to improve the world without harming the world, a very important concept in economics. Because over time, if everyone is incentivized to improve the world, not harm the world, then there's the potential for constant improvement over time. And indeed, we have centuries of evidence that this does happen in the private economy over time. Now, where does constant improvement lead? It leads ever up towards the maximum good. Aha! That's our goal, right? Well, it turns out the idea of minimizing harm is directly connected to the idea of maximizing good. If we minimize the harm, then in time we will maximize the good through this negotiation. Again, centuries of evidence that that works in the real world. But there's also an argument that this is the only way to maximize the good. If we fail to maximize or minimize the harm, then we're letting harm run amok. That's no good. That's scary. If we try to force our idea of good onto other people because we want more good, we are destroying their freedom. We're destroying this negotiation, but that's what maximizes the good. In other words, a benevolent dictator can do good, but only whatever they force. This process can always do better in time. So the big conclusion here, and this is all based on logic, is that the only way to maximize the good is to minimize harm and let this negotiation play out over time, with one caveat. You know how if you go into a casino and you place a big bet on something, maybe you'll win, maybe you'll lose. And so there's no way of knowing if you should bet or not. But on average over time, you know that it's a bad idea to keep on gambling because on average, you're going to lose. Same thing here, okay? At very small scales, very short periods of time, there's no way to know what the right thing to do is. We have to guess and argue it out. That's all category 2. But at the highest scales of society, over the longest periods of time, the law of large numbers takes effect, and this becomes the only way to maximize the good. Now, them's fighting words, but that's the fight we have to have. Some right-leaning people take this too far and think, oh, look, we're maximizing the good, we're done. Wrong. They're wrong because there's more to human society than the private economy. There's more to human society than private action. In addition to private action, there's also public action, like the public funding of social programs. There's political action, like running for office. There's foreign action, everything a foreign power might do. And then there's governing action, the attempt to govern all of this action. And we can prove that this is a complete set. This represents all human action. Aha! Okay, so now if we take the logic of economics, which maximizes the good. And if we apply it to all human action, now we're talking. Now we have a brand new worldview based on logic, not opinion. And it looks like this. It forms a table. The 5 types of action become the row headings. The elements of economics become the column headings. And as we fill in the table, what we're doing is we are applying the logic of economics to all human action, all aspects of society. And that looks like this. Now, I don't have time to go into all these details right here. That's all on penta.org. But here's the big aha. The big aha is that this represents all human action. And so if we're maximizing the good of all human action, this is everything we can fight for. This is the unity of purpose that Mayor Harmon was talking about. Okay? Now, right there, consistent with the logic of economics. And we got things like prosperity and social justice, political maturity, international harmony, and sustainability, the best possible future. So at the Penta Project, we are promoting an understanding of this 5 economy model of society. We call it the pentanomic model. And this is the pentanomic table. So that's what we have to offer the world. It's a brand new way of understanding the world. And our idea is let's come together, right, left, and center on what logic reveals. Then have the discussion about everything we disagree on. And I think that is consistent with what a lot of the other speakers are saying here. It's just maybe a little bit more precise because we're diving into the world of logic and economic law and so on. So that's the Penta Project. And thank you for my time.
Thanks for catching me. Rick, I have watched your presentation several times and read your book, and I've also thoroughly enjoyed our conversations and look forward to many, many more. Our job, as I see it now, is to make sure that we incorporate your methods, your teachings, as far and as wide as we can. And I look forward to the breakout session to determine how we might be able to better do that.